There's been some real benefits to playing Chun-Li lately, and not in the shallow sense of we're getting more ranked points or we're beating more people, but in a much more profound and impactful way. At the simplest level, it's taught me how charged characters function and why you see some people doing the things they do on charged characters, which in turn kind of helps you fight them better. And on a much deeper level, it's taught me to have a good presence of mind in game and to consciously make that decision of I'm going to think about the game now and shut out all the excess noise and distractions that occur in your head when you're playing. And that has made all the difference. But why did it take playing a character like Chun-Li to do this? And I think it's because she really keeps you on your toes due to the extreme amount of options that she has and how situational they all are. For example, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to jumps. Like, Cammy can just DP, but for Chun, she has so many different anti-airs that cover all different angles, from back heavy kick that covers close jump-ins to normal heavy kick to cover the far ones, back heavy punch, which can cover like dive kicks and things like that, and then stand light kick, which can sometimes stop demon flips or something like that. And that's just the anti-air. When it comes to pokes, of course she's got the god button of stand heavy punch that everybody hates, but she's also got forward and back medium punch. She's got stand medium kick, which is a good poke. And it all just has to come together to play some really strong neutral because she can take up so much space with these buttons. The game gives you every single option you would need to win neutral. It's just up to you to put those puzzle pieces together. And that's what's really kept me engaged when I'm playing the game. That's what's made me start to make that conscious decision of I'm going to think about the game now, which sounds very dumb, but if you know what I'm talking about, I'm really like, we're really vibing right now, because I feel like those are things that people don't talk about or people can't articulate very well, is that during the game your brain wanders because it wants to, because sometimes there's downtime in neutral and we're zoomers and our brain wanders because we have short attention spans. But it's about recalibrating and getting back into that sweet spot of what's this guy gonna do next, or what's he done before, and just thinking about the game in some way that brings you back on track. And Chun-Li demands that you do that because of how situational everything in her kit is. And because things are so situational, it gets you thinking, it gets you doing little thought experiments in the lab a lot more, because you don't have that one-size-fits option. You don't have that comfort option. You have to be uncomfortable until you can find the answer. So if a character has a weird jump or something, or they have some weird option that gets around most buttons, I go in the lab and I'll just mess around with it. And that's been really fun lately. It's turned something that traditionally has kind of felt like homework, going into the lab and like doing all these different scenarios, into little thought experiments that can be very fun, you know? Because you don't know the answer going into it. Previously, on all the other characters I played, I kind of knew the answer because I just looked it up, or I just talked to somebody, or somebody just gave me the answer. But now I can go and find my own answer, and then I'll go ask for help, or I'll look for solutions in case what I found isn't really optimal or it doesn't actually work. But I think the important part to take away from that is you should look for your own answers first and then go searching for help, because in doing so you start to learn how you solve problems, not how this guy solved the problem and then you take his answer and apply it to the game. You found this answer and you found how this works for you, and if it doesn't work in the end, it doesn't work. But that process that you took from start to finish to solve your problem on your character is invaluable, not just in the game but in life. And this has been a real difference maker for me. I'll find my answer, then I'll consult with other people who know the character better to make sure what I'm doing makes sense. And so in this context, I put a real emphasis on teaching myself before I learn from somebody else. And that doesn't work in every context or every facet of life, but in this case I think it does. I think if you're at this point, or even before this point in fighting games where I'm at, the battle has become more mental than it has physical, right? Like, you can react to things, you can do your combos, you can learn any character you want. It's more about how you're thinking now, and how you're interpreting data, and how you're reading people, and if you're reading people, you know, that's a big thing. Is some people don't even think about the guy on the other side of the screen. They're just kind of running at him. They're just running their offense, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And that's the trap that you can't fall into. You have to be thinking all the time. That can be really hard, but playing a character that really forces you to have to think about even the most mundane situations like anti-airing gets you re-engaged with the game, and eventually it'll become muscle memory, what I need to use. But I think right now this is what I need. Sometimes reversing the cast and just giving that one character you had a passing interest in an actual real shot can yield some benefits. Maybe you like the character, or maybe you don't in the end, but there are some benefits that you can get out of them, and I think that's what's happened in this case. But I'm gonna get back to playing some Chun-Li. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Thanks so much for watching.